On today's opening day edition, the second opening day of 2020 for Major League Baseball. How is that possible? I don't know. Welcome to COVID world. But we've got 3/4 of the play-by-play crew on the line. Tim is unable to join us today, but he will definitely be in the draft tomorrow for our 60 game, just for the fucks of it, fantasy baseball season. So, boys, it is the second opening day. On the first opening day, if you remember, it was the MLB at home scenario where Major League Baseball, through their various channels of socials, just played old games. And I woke up at 8:30 in the morning and watched every single game until 10:30 at night, and it was great. And then I was depressed the following day. This opening day, it leads off with the defending World Series champion Washington Nationals against John and I's New York Yankees. And just off of the rip, because we're going to start local here with the Yanks. John, I want your opinion on two things. One, your opinion on Jordan Montgomery not making the opening day roster, and Thairo Estrada actually making the roster.
I mean, that's kind of. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really gonna get like shit on here, but so you're gonna get my gut initial reaction because that's news to me. I've been so busy with work and everything, and yesterday I'm calling from Plattsburgh, so I'm all the way up at the top by the Canadian border. So I've been busy, so I actually haven't had a chance to look. So this is like shock to me. I remember the Thairo Estrada not so much. That it's a surprise, but I was kind of like my initial surprise factor had already like come and gone, just because of the fact that you had mentioned to me that they were talking to him like Urshela, like, hey, man, we love Estrada, we love Estrada. But Montgomery, did he have I guess a bad summer, like, or summer camp or whatever?
He didn't have from everything that I saw, he pitched well, and he didn't have a bad camp.
So who made it over him? That's what I want to know.
They went probably for another position player. They're going to go with the opener. I know that Michael King made the roster, and they really like Michael King, what he did in summer camp, and I think what he did in spring training. But they are going the way of the Rays and the way of new baseball with the opener, at least for one turn in the rotation. And I kind of like it with the bullpen depth, especially in a short sprint.
I kind of like it too. I feel like you don't need because I think these guys are maybe going to be looking to pitch every 4 days, and you're not going to need every fifth day starter because they're not going to need as much rest. I feel like pitchers aren't going to need as much, like starters aren't going to need as much rest now because it is a full-on sprint. So, I'm kind of shocked now, like, talking about it with you. I kind of like it. I kind of like it now. Like, if something happens, we need him to come out of the bullpen in the long relief role, then we got him. And at the same time, I think maybe he probably pitched well, but they feel like he needs more time to fully come back to that level. So. Am I shocked? Yeah, but now talking about it, it makes sense. There's nothing that's too egregious to me. I'm just excited to see Thairo Estrada play.
Can we talk about how Thairo Estrada has been shot for 3 years and he's still made more opening day rosters in that span of time than Jacoby Ellsbury has?
Oh man,
I feel like you've seen the Emily Nyman tweet.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Emily Nyman, who came on last week. Yeah, that's one of her Hall of Fame tweets.
That was a golden one.
Is her saying that Thairo Estrada, who was shot 2 years ago, has made more opening day rosters in that time span than Jacoby Ellsbury has. So,
wow, that is really
that's a ringing endorsement of Jacoby Ellsbury's baseball ability in the year of our Lord 2020.
Really just kick Yankee fans at the moment. You really just want to compliment us or compliment one of our players at the same time kick us in the balls.
Of course I do. It's what Red Sox fans are for.
Let me switch over to your Red Sox, Nick. How are you feeling about your chances in the shortened season for 2020? Because of all the teams that are being talked about, the Red Sox are not being talked about at all.
I'll tell you, I feel a lot better about our chances in a short sprint than I did over the long season. Over the long season, I thought there was you remember in March, I was telling you, I think there's depth issues, particularly with the bullpen. There's depth issues with some of the infield positions. But if we're just taking a 60-day short sprint and we've got the 40-man roster for a good half of that, I mean, I think the chances are pretty solid here. There's some decent enough pitching to get through the season, and there's a lot of good bats. There's we got Benintendi back. He's going to be good. Alex Verdugo, the trade piece from the Dodgers, he looks like a stud. Devers is back. Michael Chavis is back. Xander is back. I still don't know if we're a playoff team. I think it's going to be a tough sell, especially in that division with the Rays and the Yankees. But if the Red Sox get on a roll, really all you need to do is get on a roll. If you get a 10-game win streak or a 9-game win streak, that's a big part of the equation right there. And this team with this offense is definitely capable of that.
I mean, they're definitely going to score some runs. You still got JD Martinez. You still have X going to give it to you. You still have Devers. Whatever Verdugo will give you is a plus. He's not going to be the replacement that the Red Sox need in the Mookie Betts hole, but who can be?
Nobody can be.
Two people in the league?
Chris Sale could be back by the end of the year.
He's still not back?
He could be back. He's on the 40-day...
No, I'm saying he's not back now.
No, he's on the 40-day injured list to start the season, so he'll be eligible to come back in early September.
You know, Nick, Chris Sale is Red Sox for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Chris Sale has a Cy Young, so that's not true.
I mean, let's not let John, if you really want to do the dig there, Ellsbury's injury troubles started with the Red Sox. He was always fractured.
I mean, he was always listen, as a Johnny Damon fan and the leader of former leader of the Johnny Damon fan club, he's a discount Johnny Damon. He'll always be a discount Johnny Damon. Sorry.
But both the two times he was fully healthy, World Series championships. So
so what you're saying is when he's healthy.
If Jacoby Ellsbury makes it through a season, he's guaranteed to win a championship. It's a 1,000 batting average.
Oh, I can't even believe I'm going to go there. And Joe, please, I don't want to have my Yankee card fan revoked. Please, I'm begging you, but I got to say.
It's not up to me. I don't hold the cards. I don't have that privilege.
I'm not going to say it. I'll say it off the air when it's safe.
You don't
Can
want
we
the
talk
hounds
about
to
how
come
the Red
after
Sox
you,
have two separate players on their 40-man roster named Marcus Wilson?
Seriously?
Oh, wait, no, Marcus Walden and Marcus Wilson. My apologies.
On that note, let's take a real quick break, and we'll be right back. Feed Hudson Valley is a regional food rescue and harvesting network in the Hudson Valley operating through Dutchess, Orange, Ulster, Columbia, Greene, Putnam, and Sullivan counties. It links donors of prepared but unserved food and fresh produce with nonprofits and food assistant programs through an app-assisted network of food donors, volunteers, and feeding agencies. Feed Hudson Valley facilitates the harvesting, processing, and distribution of locally grown or produced agricultural products, self-stable food donations, and prepared nutritious foods. The app used is called Chow Match, and it is easy for volunteers to download and use. Among the donors are restaurants, farms, food makers, stores, hospitals, and universities. The food assistant programs include food pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters. Volunteers are matched through the Chow Match app when a donation is available. They can indicate that they are available to make a run and then pick it up for a donor and deliver it to the agency. The Feed Hudson Valley Network currently includes over 300 volunteers, 130 donors, and 95 receiving agencies. Last year, on average, Feed Hudson Valley rescued and redirected over 12,000 pounds of food each month. Feed Hudson Valley could use more donors and volunteers. To learn more and sign up, visit feedhv.org. Again, that's feedhv.org. One more time, spelled out, feedhv.org. Now back to the podcast. All right, in the first block, it was kind of a mismatch. It was Yankee roster transitions or transactions. Wow, even I can't.
This isn't Yankee boy killing them. This is my team.
We talked about the Jacoby Ellsbury. If healthy, he is a world champion. It's a fact. And I want to just circle back to Chris Sale real quick because
he's like
the roster management of the Red
Chris
Sox
the Rail Sale
has been putrid to not take care of your Cy Young Award winning pitcher in Sale, then to give him an extension knowing that Mookie is going to be up for it the following year, to give Price the deal. Like, this is just poor management from one of the top organizations in the game. And have you gotten over the Mookie not being there?
Have I gotten over Mookie not being on the roster? No, I have not.
Are you upset that him and
no, we will not.
that Mookie and the Dodgers are trying to come to terms with a 10-year deal, probably around $400 million?
I mean, I can't be that upset. You know, he's a great player. I love him, and he deserves to get the bag and move forward. I just wish it could have been on my team, and I think there was no real excuse for why we couldn't have kept him around. It's not like there's a salary cap. The good thing is that there are new pieces that can be the franchise guy. I mean, Benintendi is the franchise guy now, and he's more than earned that spot. And Devers is coming along nicely.
Is it him or is it Bogarts? Because you've already given the money to Bogarts.
Well,
Bogarts is that guy, but if we're going to ask who's a better all-around player, I think the answer is Andrew Benintendi.
But
are we sure?
I'm sure.
But I was going to say, you know, like, if there's guys you're going to keep, like, I would say the 4 guys the Red Sox should have made sure that they keep. Number 1 is Mookie Betts. And then you have Benintendi, Xander Bogaerts, and Rafael Devers. If I was the Red Sox, those are the 4 guys. I don't care what I got to spend. I don't care who I got to get rid of. I don't care what I got to trade. I will make sure that my damnedest. I will give him my freaking kidney. But hey, you know what? Let them burn it into the ground. That's all. I don't care about that. Just keep going. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I want to, last thing on the Red Sox before we get to big picture stuff as fans, and to end the block here. Do you think that the Red Sox have enough to challenge the Yankees in the AL East this year, especially when they have to go up against the NL East and contend with the likes of the Mets and the Braves and the Phillies and the Nats?
Absolutely not. They have a chance to get lucky and rattle off a good win streak, and then that will put them in the driver's seat to get a wild card spot. But in terms of challenging for the division crown and challenging for the Yankees' dominance of this division and even the Rays' dominance of this division, I do not see it at all. I just don't think the overall talent is there, especially in the pitching staff.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Nick. I think the Red Sox had the potential to ruffle some feathers, especially being in the short sprint, like we said in the last block. I think you can ruffle some feathers. I think the Red Sox are going to be looking to play some spoilers once, play spoiler a little bit. But I don't think they're going to overtake. I don't think they're going to overtake the division, just because not even because Yankee. No, because the Rays. If anyone's gonna if anyone's gonna challenge for the division, challenge us, it's gonna be the Rays. So you're gonna have to make through the Rays and the Yankees. So I just don't see that happen. I see them ruffle.
Well, it's pretty much always been a 3-team division for most of the 2000s. It was the Yankees and Red Sox at the beginning of it, with the Orioles kind of peeking through. Then the Blue Jays run there with the Rays and the Red Sox at the top of the division. Then the second Orioles run in the early 2010s. Now it's the Rays. So it's always been a 3-team division. Now it's a 2-team division. Nick, how long do you think it's going to last that long? How long do you think this Red Sox quote-unquote rebuild is going to last?
1 year. I think 2021 they'll be fine. They've got money coming off of the books next year. They'll be able to throw some more cash around, bring in some nice pieces, develop some of these guys further. I mean, presumably Darwin's and Hernandez will not have coronavirus next year, so he'll be back. Pitching will get better. I think they'll be right back in the mix of things in 2021. I just think this year, I never thought this year was going to be a playoff year for the Red Sox, and the only reason my tune has slightly changed is because the season is shorter and it's more of a crapshoot, more of a luck of the draw situation. We've seen them get lucky before, so it can happen.
It can happen, and I mean, teams get hot. And
yeah,
look at the Nationals last year. So,
yep.
On that note, let's take another last quick break, and we'll come back with some fan stuff.
Okay.
All right. To end the podcast, all of us are, I would say, above average baseball fans. And we care more than the average bear does. And we watch more than the average bear does. As a fan.
I love baseball.
As a fan, how long do you think it will take you to get used to Corona Ball?
I've already gotten used to it. I'm just so glad to have it back that it doesn't even factor into my mind.
What time does the game start tomorrow?
7 o'clock?
Okay, so 7 o'clock tomorrow night, I'll be okay with it.
Really? You're completely okay with the fan noise and the runner on second in extra innings sort of thing?
It's weird, but it's just, the runner on second thing is not. I'm not all jazzed up about that, but the fan thing, it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I think it's kind of weird. It's kind of awkward and funny to see cardboard cutouts of fans.
Yeah,
but
I mean the cardboard cutout's a little strange. But Joe, remember, I was watching Korean baseball. So I'm already like there already is like the influx of like the fake crowd and stuff. So
you know what they should do?
What's that?
They should take, instead of cardboard cutouts of just fans, they should do what they do at college basketball games and put big heads out in the seats. So like you'll see fucking a home run to DJ LeMahieu hits a home run to deep left. And all of a sudden, like, Peter Griffin is there chilling with Quagmire. It'll be great.
That'd be funny.
A giant
Would
lobster
you pay
is next to them.
For the cardboard cutout?
Would I pay?
Yes.
It's a fucking cardboard cutout. Why can't these teams pay for it? They have it's like $2 at Home Depot to get cardboard.
How much?
They can afford it.
Because I've seen some people that they bought it. How much does it actually cost?
The Mets are selling them for $89.
Of course, the Mets are selling them for $89. What a fucking
The Dodgers are selling them for, I think, upwards of $150 for some seats.
Get the fuck out of here! Are you kidding me?
$150 to get a cardboard cutout of you in the seats. I'll just make my own cardboard cutout and then sneak into the stadium when no one is looking and put it there.
It was worth. See,
they never know.
See, I would do it if they did this. If you buy a cardboard cutout, then you're insured a game. You're insured a ticket in that seat at any point next season.
That's a good promotion. My thing that I said with when Emily was on the show, if they gave me a ticket stub and a baseball, I want the ticket stub for the game and a game-used baseball. But some breaking news, or potentially breaking news,
Okay.
from Jeff Passan of ESPN. Dodgers star Mookie Betts expected to sign a 13-year deal with LA for more than $380 million.
Get your bag.
Oh God, I just love how the universe works. We're just talking about Mookie Betts, and now this shit comes through.
Get your
Expected
bag.
to sign a that would be a record deal.
That would be
more
bigger than the
Bryce
Mike
Harper.
Trout contract.
It
Would
would
that
be
bigger than the Mike Trout.
It would be in terms of years. I think that is the longest live ball era contract ever given. Would be 13 years. Now
It would be tied with Bryce Harper, wouldn't it? Because he got 13, I think.
well, combined, yes, he signed a 10-year extension. I think it was 12 years because it was the 10-year extension. It was the Mahomes sort of deal. Where
Right.
it's
I
a
remember
10-year
somebody
deal.
got 13 years before this, though. Was it Stanton?
I believe that's a 10-year deal too.
Okay.
What
A-Rod
So
about
this would
10
be the
years as
longest
well.
then.
Is he worth more than Bryce Harper or
yes,
Manny Machado?
yes.
As a player, yes. As an all-around star of the game, no. Bryce Harper's a bigger
I
star.
agree with that. He is the better player on the field, and I mean he's worth the money. He's one of the guys on the short list that is worth the money.
Yeah, the two, and
it's only
now
going to take him to. I'm
And
sorry,
now
John.
the two of them are being paid: Mike Trout and Mookie Betts.
And it's only going to take Mookie Betts to age 40. So this isn't an Albert
Only.
Pujols situation where he'll still be getting paid at 43, 44 to be a shell of his former self. He'll be done at 40.
Well,
Who knows? Maybe medical technology will advance. He'll be able to get another bag at 40 years old.
Another 13-year deal. He'll be the ageless.
He's not
Jamie
Brady.
Moore.
He's not. There's nothing in his
I don't want
career
him.
that's shown him to be Brady.
He's not
Father
Brady.
Time,
You're right. He's not
especially
Brady.
in baseball, will
He's gonna
catch
be
up with
Jamie
you.
Moyer.
As Eminem said in The Adventures of Moon Man and Slim Shady, I quote, "They say time's undefeated. I'm going to be the first one who can beat it."
He's going to be a shell of himself at 40. At year
probably right, but
11 through 13 of the deal, if it is 13 years, is not going to be the same guy that gets the money in 2020. It's not going to happen. Same thing with Harper and Machado and even Trout. They're not going to be the same player.
Well, I was gonna say, if there's anyone I'm gonna bet that could even be close, if there's anyone that's gonna even kind of like try and take a stab at being timeless and ageless, I would say Mike Trout. That would be the guy I'd bet on.
Probably. But the other thing here, and we'll wrap up on this, is...
We'll wrap up on this. You want to know world champions and sleeper predictions and things like that? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I
know
do.
you want to know.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you doing, Joe?
Really quickly, what does this do for Bellinger with the Dodgers? Because he has to get paid too.
When is his rookie deal up?
Okay. You do the same
3
thing.
years from now.
Plenty of time. Don't even worry about it.
I hate to say it, but you're probably gonna have to say bye to Clayton Kershaw. Like again,
Well, he will retire by then probably.
Yeah. So that Betts and Bellinger.
And you got Bueller on the. You got Bueller too.
So there's your three guys. I don't care what I gotta spend. I don't care who I gotta trade. I don't care who I gotta get rid of. My core three pieces are Walker Bueller, Cody Bellinger, and Mookie Betts.
All right.
What
really
about
quickly?
Seager?
Yeah. What about Corey Seager?
He'll be. How old will he be in 3 years?
I mean, this is all about
26?
when the rookie contracts expire, right? That's what
Corey
really
Seager's
matters.
26, like now.
Is he?
Yeah, he'll be 29.
I thought he was in his. Is he really?
He'll be 29 in 3 years.
Who?
In
Corey
3 years,
Seager?
yeah, Corey Seager will be
Holy-
29. He's
Holy
26 right
Christ.
now. So like you get them, so trade him, get rid of him,
Really?
unless Bellinger falls off the face of a cliff. And not to say Corey Seager's not great, but Corey Seager's great. But like Bellinger's gonna have age on him, and you can get the first 3 years of his prime.
All right, fine. Quickly, your World Series matchup MVP, Cy Young, and a dark horse for the playoffs.
My dark horse for the playoffs, I'll start off with that because I think you know where I'm going here, Joe, based on things I've told you.
I hope we have the same one.
Dark horse is the New York Mets.
Oh, not the same one.
Not the
John,
same
are you
one.
going to ride on the bandwagon and go Rays? Or
Nope.
Reds, rather?
Oh, yeah. I guess Cincinnati Reds. Whoops.
Yeah, you're popping on the bandwagon that
I didn't
everybody
realize
else
it was
is.
a bandwagon thing. I read an art.
No, yeah.
Guess
This
it
has
was.
been
Okay,
a lot
hold
of
on.
the...
So then let me pick legitimate sleeper.
All right.
I thought the Cincinnati Reds were your sleeper.
No, that was...
It's everyone's sleeper.
Apparently so. It was everyone's sleeper.
Shut up, Joe. Nobody asked you.
It's my show. Everybody asked me.
I own the show.
Legitimate sleeper.
I agree with, I'm going to give two just because it's my show and I could break the rules. In the American League, I'm saying the Angels. In the National League, I'm saying the Mets.
Okay.
You know what?
Well,
Fine.
let
I'll
me
agree
break
with those.
down the Mets for
I'll
you
agree-
since
I'll
I'm
agree
glad
with
that
those.
me and you are on the same page, Joe.
No, I'll agree to that. I'll agree to that. Yeah, I'm not going to fight you guys. That sounds good to me.
The Mets have a fantastic pitching staff. Rick Porcello joins the game. Cy Young winner Rick Porcello.
The most fraudulent Cy Young Award winner of all time.
They have Marcus Stroman. They have Waka Waka.
Waka waka.
Brad Brock is in the bullpen now. Edwin Diaz is back. I'm sure he's going to be better.
He will definitely have a better year.
Lots of talented pieces on the bench. Jake Barisnik, the former fraudulent Houston Astro champion. Now he gets to win with a reputable organization. I guess as reputable as you can say the Mets are. But here's the real things that really set them apart, in my opinion. Number one is, obviously, I guess there's three things. Obviously, they're built more for a short sprint because of all this talent. They have the Red Sox factor where the Mets, more so than any team I see, are very likely to get on a hot streak and ride that hot hand into the playoffs. But there's two other key things. Number one is their coaching staff. I was actually just looking at this. Obviously, we know what happened with Carlos Beltran, but Luis Rojas is a solid replacement. And they've got some real good coaches on the staff. They got Chili Davis, who won a championship as the Red Sox hitting coach. They have Hensley Mullins, who won 3 titles as the San Francisco Giants bench coach. A lot of experience there. And then look at some of these guys. He was a part of the
Even Dynasty. Wow.
Yeah. And then look at some of these guys they have in their player pool. So some of these guys that they can draw from. Gordon Beckham, Eduardo Nunez, Melky Cabrera.
It's a Yankee reunion for half of the...
It is a Yankee reunion. Hunter Strickland, World Series hero Hunter Strickland is on this team. There's a lot
Southern
of talent
Thunder.
and a lot of experience waiting in the wings for the New York Mets. I think they could really do some damage if they get on a hot streak. They could really... This is the ultimate spoil the party team, in my opinion.
They have an American League lineup in the National League, and it benefits them for a guy like Cespedes and Cano, who can take some days off and just worry about hitting and get at-bats for J.D. Davis and Jeff McNeil and guys like that. So I really, really like the Mets, and I think Edwin Diaz is going to have a great bounce back here, a la Dellin Betances in 2018 after the 2017 fiasco. So for the MVP and Cy Young, I'm gonna go chalk here pretty much for MVPs and Cy Youngs. For AL MVP, Trout, I think he's gonna just do something absurd this year in the 60-game sprint. I'm going to go Cole for back-to-back Cy Young first with the Yankees in the National League. DeGrom, Cy Young, and I'm gonna go Yelich. Finally gets his long-awaited MVP.
I'm going to go Colin DeGrom as well. I'm also going to go Mike Trout like you on the AL MVP. I think it's the short season factor. He's the best player. My NL MVP pick is Juan Soto.
Wow.
I think he's going to be an absolute beast this year.
That's kind of a dark horse pick.
Don't be surprised if Pete Alonso starts making some waves too.
Well, we'll see it because he's recording it and putting it on his YouTube channel. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I thought I heard something wrong. You said Christian Yelich got his long-awaited NL MVP. What the fuck happened in 2018? He was the MVP.
Was he really?
Yes. I was like, what? I was like, Yelich won an MVP already. What?
Seriously? Are you? Am I?
Yes, he won.
Am I wrong on that?
Yes, you are wrong on that. He got traded till Milwaukee.
Here's a fun fact for you about
the NL MVP of 2018.
Here's a fun fact for you. If Pete Alonso wins the MVP this year, he would be the first Mets MVP ever.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Yelich did win the 2018 MVP.
Jesus, come on.
All right, so he'll win his second MVP. I'm sorry.
But I kind of let me see. Let me take a real shot in the dark here. All right, AL MVP. I think I'm gonna go with Trout. AL Cy Young, just because I want to be a Yankee boy. Garrett Cole. I think he's gonna win the Cy Young. But Joe, you said something to me yesterday about Max Scherzer, but I'm not. Max Scherzer's not my pick for the NL Cy Young. I think now you're talking to me about the Mets, and like I can't believe I'm even doing this. What if Jacob DeGrom has like a stupidly good season? Not even just like Cy Young season, like MVP Cy Young season.
Like if he goes like 11-0 or something like that.
Something like that with like a sub-1 ERA.
It might happen.
Because
if he goes undefeated and goes sub-1, that's basically equivalent to Verlander and Kershaw of years past.
I mean, like this is the year for craziness, right? I mean, we could see it won't count the same as it would for a full season, but we could see a sub-1 ERA and we could see a 400 batter again. I think it can and might happen.
Yeah, and I think whoever gets those points, they're going to be the top contentions for MVP and Cy Young and stuff. But you know what? I'm taking it. Dark horse, real dark horse pick. Jacob DeGrom has like a stupidly good season, a season so good that he has to win them both.
You want a real dark horse, like pitch black dark horse?
Sure.
So this guy quietly came out of he was great for a while in the early part of the mid part of the decade. And then he kind of became obscure for a little while. And then very quietly last year, he came out of nowhere and played really, really well for the Braves. He was amazing on defense. He started hitting again. He looked really great. He's looked good so far this spring. And he's moved to a situation where it's absolutely perfect for him. He's in a relatively easy division on a team where he'll get a lot of opportunities to score points and make big plays. His name is Josh Donaldson of the Minnesota Twins.
I was gonna say, you're gonna say Donaldson?
That is a real dark horse. Former MVP.
Yeah, he's in the perfect situation to do it again.
That would be the second time in his career that he did it, because he went from the A's to Toronto, won the MVP, fell off for a year, went to Atlanta on a team-friendly contract, brought them to the playoffs, and then got another bag with the Twins. I can't say I hate it.
Well, I was gonna say, if he does win a second MVP, I mean, we could sit here and talk about like what does that do for his career and his like Hall of Fame and all that stuff. But we could always, that just be something we're gonna have to talk about another day.
That is. But, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but I agree with you.
But you know what I mean? Like, just like we have to, talk about like the Hall of Fame criteria. Like, what does that do? Like, does that make him like a more viable person?
That is a good podcast for another day. The Hall of Fame players of this generation.
The fringe Hall of Fame players of this generation.
Yeah, the borderline, the baseline. But on that note, I think that's a good place to end.
We didn't say the World Series.
Oh, fuck. Jesus. You're right. World Series matchup. I'm going... You can call me a homer. I'm going Yanks, and I'm going Dodgers. Two best teams in the game.
I was going to say something along the lines... Initially, do something completely out of left field, like if the Yankees don't make it, like Angels, Dodgers. But I think I want to do it on the East Coast. I think it's been 20 years. I think we should do it again. Subway Series.
I was going to say Dark Horse World Series, Subway Series.
I had a feeling you were going to go that direction, John.
That'd be fun. It wouldn't be fun in my household because my girl and me would be at each other's throats, but it'd be fun for a while.
I think the Yankees ride in the hot hand. They're unequivocally the best team in baseball right now, and they're the best suited for this short stretch. Out of the National League, there's a lot of good candidates. The Dodgers, the Washington Nationals, but I think the Atlanta Braves get in, and we get a 90s reunion.
That would be poetic. It would really be poetic if we trounce on the Braves again and start another dynasty.
Shots fired. Bring it on, Atlanta. Bring it on. Greg Maddux can't save you now.
Boys,
Ronald Acuna might be able to, though.
Maybe. I will give you the floor for anything that you want to promote and your socials and all that.
You can find me on social media at Nick Parodies. I am an actor. I am a movie maker. I am a general clown on social media. You can find me in the RST documentary, which will be resuming production soon. You can catch me on the Children's Programming Podcast alongside my good friend Matt Dixon. New episode will be being recorded tomorrow with our boy Cousin John.
Whoop.
And the latest episode is up now. We had a guest on, Nancy Lopez, an author from Canada. We discussed replacing Confederate statues with statues of Ludacris and Outkast. We discussed what if Mel Gibson had starred in Gladiator. All kinds of good shit.
Johnny?
My turn. All right. You can follow me on Cousin John 56 on Twitter and on Instagram, not _Sebastian_Maniscalco. I don't usually post often on Instagram, but I do post every once in a while. And Twitter, I get back in the swing of things. But I think I'm sitting pretty on Tim right now, so I don't think I'm too worried. But, I don't think he's going to get 1,000 followers before I get 200. But then again, I don't think I'm going to get to 200 either. So let's make this happen.
On this side of the coin, not the fake Jay Leo on Twitter, jdatasports.blogspot.com, and of course this podcast. If you've reached this point, please like, subscribe, share with anybody who you seem fit, download the podcast, and Happy New Year. I've already said that once this year, but Happy New Year to all the baseball fans out there. It's going to be a great weekend of baseball. It's going to get us back to some normalcy with the pandemic, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Boys, thank you for coming on and continuing the tradition of opening day play-by-play reunions, even if Tim couldn't make it today. Have a good weekend, and until next time, it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Peace.
Adios.